It's the Dave and Jen Morning Show on Light Rock 97.3. And every month we ask you to look around your home. Maybe you've got something you've inherited, maybe something you've unearthed after doing a little cleaning around the house. And you think, boy, this actually could be worth something, and put it into our Hidden Gems of the Finger Lake sweepstakes at lightrock973.com with the Early Owego Antique Center. And we have someone who's done just that and is here for this month's free appraisal. With us, it's Jim Mead from Early Owego Antique Center. Welcome back, Jim.
Yeah, good morning.
Good to see you, Jim. How have you been? How's the center?
Oh, the center's great. I'll tell you, business has been great. And so much activity on dealer day, people changing up, bringing in new merchandise, changing for the seasons and so forth. It's really gratifying. I think last time dealer day, I think 40% of our dealers showed up. So that's huge. And other dealers, of course, they'll come during the week, we don't like to be bothered, bothering the customers by while they're working on their booth. But sometimes it's a major deal. They'll do it on dealer day. If there's just a few items, they'll come in. But remember, if you catch a dealer in the store and you're interested in any, working on their booth, and you're interested in anything that they might have available, ask them about price. I mean, they love to do that. In fact, some of the dealers are there on weekends, especially just for that purpose. So come down and see how it works. We have a lot of fun. We want to meet you and have some fun too.
Awesome, Jim. Thanks for the update on the center. Now, we do have a winner here today for a free appraisal. Coulter Nemechek is here. Welcome. Tell us about the item.
There isn't too much background with this. This was a gift from my mother. She purchased it probably around 12 years ago. She purchased online. She believes, she roughly bought it for around $100. I immediately saw that it was, a beautiful piece, and I scooped it up from her.
And you're here now. Jim, what do you think we have here?
We're doing this one cold,
okay,
Dave.
That's good. We like that.
Yeah, okay.
Spontaneous.
A true appraiser, an appraisal, of course, that's the big thing you do is you go to your sources. And I only had the one photograph. I guess I understood what I was looking at, but I immediately thought it was a wine cellar, and I think it still is a wine cellar, but it's in a different form. Typically, a wine cellar or a salt cellar, they're a container specifically for the condiment or the drink. So salt cellars, because salt was in a block. Well, they're more waterproof for one thing, and they're not as ornate and so forth. Wine cellars, which usually I'm used to taking the bottles themselves, or having maybe 6 large decanters within with wine. They're more ornate. You took it on the stagecoach with you. You kept it inside, and it had to be upright. It goes on and on, but they definitely have a lot of more cachet than like a salt cellar or any other kind of box. But basically, it's a box, but it's so gorgeous. But then you look at this aspect of it being a drinking set, and I'm just not familiar, haven't seen. Well, we just took the tray out of the box, and we looked a little bit at the glassware. The glassware, I think, actually might be old, but we're flummoxed now because the tray is made out of plywood, and the finial on top is definitely 20th century. All the metalwork on the box is 19th or earlier. It could be originally a tea caddy or a wine cellar or an elegant salt cellar. There are torches on the side, a beautiful marquetry. I can't tell now. I'm thinking about it's either English or made to be English, made by the English trade somewhere in the East. Beautiful box, way easily worth the $100. Probably box alone in my store. And now I'm really fascinated. I knew there was something up about this, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. So somewhere along the line, they either owned this wonderful set of glassware, 4 goblets or 4 jardinières and smaller, and how many ever glasses. Missing one was broken. I almost thought it had maybe a religious connotation because of the small cups and so forth. But we looked around, there's no symbols for that, no Judaica, no really nothing in that pointing us in that direction. It looks like just everybody having a jolly good time with 3 different pieces of equipment. The box from maybe before 1850, the glassware from I'm gonna say probably after the Civil War, and the cute little tray from after 1950 is my guess. Now you add the tray and the glassware. The glassware itself has some value. It's an interesting set. So that probably, the tray and the glassware probably adds The glassware as itself, either with or without the tray, is probably $75. Let's say that the tray and the glassware adds $100, so we're at $300 maybe as a retail guess.
It's Jim Mead from the Early Owego Antique Center, and of course Coulter Nemechek, who brought in the item. Coulter, what do you think? What do you think? Was that kind of your guess? Either a little bit more, a little bit less?
No, that's more or less what I was in the area thinking myself. You know, I didn't think it was going to be something that was going to be astronomical.
Sure.
I find it very, very interesting. You know, the dating of the box itself being 1850s area somewhere in there. That's pretty impressive. And I mean, it's a very lovely piece. It'll stay in the family, and it's thank you guys very, very much for giving us your insight on that.
Absolutely. You're very welcome. For bringing it in, Coulter, we'll get you a $25 gift card for Owego Donut and Beer Company and one to the Double Down Bar and Grill and Candor just for putting that in. And we thank you for putting the piece up at lightrock973.com.
All right. Thank you very much.
Very good. All right, Jim, you be well. Visit the Early Owego Antique Center in Owego and at earlyowego.com. Thanks, guys.